Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Calypso Showcase. Tonight, our special guest, Nigel and Marvin Lewis, and we just call them simply Nigel and Marvin, and the tune's so good. It's a good place for us to start. Welcome, Nigel. Welcome, Marvin.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be
Nigel, I want to start with you. And I chose the tune so good to open the show because a lot of people have been talking about sampling in music, and I wanted to shed some light on that for us.
The process of sampling is actually quite simple. You want to sample something, you need to find out who the writer of the song is, who is the publisher, and then you make necessary arrangements with whoever the publisher is, and they would send back whatever forms that you fill out. You find they want to know if you're actually sampling piece of the old music or if you're actually singing over the song, and they would tell you what they require in order for you to do. This is a simple process to go through. It takes a little while if you're a first-timer. It's like, for me, for the first time, it took like about 6 weeks before you could actually get back a
Get the permission,
yeah, for you to get the permission.
What kind of cost are we looking at? Because a lot of the younger performers are getting into using a lot of samples.
Yeah, actually, it's small money. It's like a couple cents. It's like, yeah, per whatever it is you're using. Like, for instance, for So Good, I used the sample from the original song, and I actually sang over the chorus of the song. In that case, they didn't even require anything. All they required was the publishing back, and I got 25% writer's fee
for the rap that you inserted.
I inserted in the song.
And you made sure and credited the
writer properly back to the publisher and everything. And
well, I think you could offer some advice to some of our younger ones, because we're hearing a lot of sampling on the radio, and I'm not sure that all of them have had their permissions.
Yeah, well, I realized that. So to the younger ones, if you're sampling music, you need to seek the permission, because as it is now, the way how the music is moving and it's evolving, people on the outside are tending to look in. So you can just get up in the morning and get a phone call saying, well, listen, you've sampled so-and-so song, and you could infringe my work, and you can be getting a little court case.
Marvin, we're here to talk about where Nigel and Marvin is going, something about a band and connections with Barbados. What's the story on that?
Okay, well, we have a band based in Barbados. We have linked up with John King, you know, Walk Your Waistline, how many more? And we'll be here for Carnival 1998. What we were seeking to do, you know, most times on the outside, and when I say on the outside, North America, mainly, you would go to a fete, and if there's a Trini band, you would have an audience comprising mainly of Trinidadians. You probably have a scattering, a Bajan scattering, a Jamaicans, probably scattering of Antiguans. Same thing if bands probably from Barbados or Antigua or St. Vincent go on the outside.
You only capture the people from
your
country.
They capture the people, yeah, from your country. So we are trying to break down that barrier and have our culture, because it's not just a Trinidad culture anymore. As you would realize, Barbados, Antigua, St. Vincent, you know, all of us, we are serving the same purpose. So,
and people also don't care whether you come from
exactly,
Barbados,
they don't, because we're all from the
Jamaica.
Caribbean, we're from the West Indies, you know. And we're trying to break that barrier and to integrate, you know, we're kind of like the West Indies team, so to speak,
Correct.
in music.
Well, what's the name of the band and what's the concept of the band, Nigel?
The name of the band is JEGNA, which means Teacher, Protector of the Children and the Culture. We are going to try to unify the whole Caribbean and show people that sometimes, you know, politicians and politics, they're always fighting amongst one another. We're going to show them in music that we can come together as one unit and, you know, reach out to the world and
That's
touch.
a very ambitious, but
reachable. Yeah, it's reachable.
Reachable goal.
Because we have touched a couple of peoples on the outside so far, in where we have been to perform and stuff with the band, you know. So things are starting to shape up pretty okay.
Well, this year I know that you went to the music awards. You were the 1996 Road March champion.
Yeah.
You were the 1996 Party Vocalist of the Year. What did you achieve at the TNT Music Awards?
I won 3 awards. Actually, I won 4 awards for the whole year so far. The first award show I went to was the Reggae Soca Music Awards, where I won an award for Moving to the Left. And then we went to the Sunshine Awards.
Sunshine Awards.
Where I won 3 awards, which was, one was for Best New Male Artist, one was for Say a Prayer, which is the song that I wrote for the children, Best Children's Song, And then there was the one for the best party Calypso, which was moving again.
Right, we're going to come back and talk about your 1998 stuff later in the program. But for now, we want you to sit back and relax like our viewers and take a look at the Calypso career of Nigel and Marvin.
They work us hard in the fields. They give us licks, yeah, Lord, and it made us grieve. Only God alone knows why it had to happen this way. Someday we will know the answer. We wanna be free people. We wanna be free. We wanna be free people now.
Nigel and Marvin. What's so significant about that song?
That was back in the days that Toko composed at school. That was one of his first songs we write. That was one of the first songs.
You actually composed that song?
Yeah, it's a composition that we have. We haven't touched and recorded it as yet, but it will come soon.
Something's still in the back burner, man.
And tell me something, Marvin. How long have you all been singing together?
Ooh, since what I was 3 years old, he was 4, and we used to be hugging up at the rest house in Tobago, going around singing, "I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again." Because our mother left when I was 2 and Nigel was 3. Sadly, was a year and a half. So you know, we always had that song for some reason in our head. You know, "Leaving on a jet plane."
Yeah. When did you think about going commercial or let's say professional?
Oh, well, that was kind of easy. From the young age, we used to look at Eddie Grant. We used to do all the stuff Eddie Grant did. Me and Marvin used to make a drum set underneath the house and play some music. The Climpton Milk. Yeah, man, we had some serious times with that. And my great-grandmother, at first I wanted to be a doctor. And I told my great-grandmother that she would never have to die and I would take care of her, be a doctor, and she would never have to go away. But unfortunately, she died before I could even think about becoming a doctor.
Yeah, right.
And the dream. I tried one time.
Yeah, man. He was telling me as why you.
But that was it. I had that in the back of my head, and then after, I said, okay, well, we went into the music, and we started singing a lot. Because apparently, we didn't know our father then, and we didn't know that he was into music. You know, we just knew our mother used to dance, Best Village, Best Village and stuff. So that was the start.
But in terms of, say, we all know you associate with Roy K, but what's the history of leading up to your association with him?
Oh, the history of leading up to, I started singing in a band in South called Succession Brass. Well, actually, I was in Toko first. We had a school band called TC Starlights. Yeah, we had TC Starlights. Then I went to Roots and Branches. And from Roots and Branches, I went to South with a little band. I forgot the name of the little band, yes, with Jamel Fortune, who's now singing with Charlie's Roots. Yeah. We had a little band together called Youths in Fusion. Yeah, we used to sing. Yeah, we used to sing together. And then I went across to Succession Brass. And then going to Succession Brass, that was a stepping stone. So then Volt Express, which was still around at the time, they heard me. And joining Volt Express, I went on my first tour to Toronto. And in going on my first tour to Toronto, Bobby Kwan heard of me then. And then I started in Blue Ventures when I came back, because I was recommended by Russell Cadogan.
He went into bands before me. In 1988, I think it was. Well, you know, we always have a story from the beginning. We had a little band. I used to do continuation classes in Arima, senior comprehensive. And, you know, the girls always just be begging me, Marvin, sing a song.
That's an urge, right?
So anyway, one evening I was just singing a slow song and thing, you know. And some guys from Arima, senior comprehensive, who they were into music also. They said they wanted to join they wanted to form a little band and things. I said, okay. So we gave this band the name Top Secret. But it was so secret, nobody never heard about it. and then I met up with Ron Hull. He used to play guitar with Carl and Carol Jacobs. I don't remember him, the guy that used to play guitar with them, Ron Hull. And Bobby Dolly. Bobby Dolly, he was looking for members for Firefly. I was on the last half, if you want to call it that. And Ron
pull me in the band, so to speak. So I started singing with Fireflight. And then and Slim, this was 1989 now, when Codinal and all they left, and Russell left Taxi and stuff, they were recruiting. And I wasn't part of the band. Anselm was part of the band, and I think that's when Anselm, remember when his foot was broken.
Yeah.
So I ended up in that slot, right? And so I was in Taxi from like 1989 to 92. And in the last half, I think Nigel had branched from Blue Ventures to Atlantic, and then he was in Traffic for about 2 gigs. And then he came over to Taxi, but Trinidad never really, I don't think Trinidad ever really saw Taxi when I and Nigel was in Taxi together, right? But he came on tour, and then from Taxi, we ended up in Roy Cape together.
That person from Iowa was just a borrow. But don't get a horror, we're going to be back tomorrow. Let me go to the Iowa. Come to the Iowa. Butterfly, shadow, wave. Everybody, Iowa. Butterfly, shadow, wave. I want to see everybody. Iowa, butterfly, shadow, wave. Come on, Iowa. Shadow,
There's always that little moment when I personally get to know someone. And I'd heard about Nigel and Marvin, and I'd seen you all, but then you came to me one time and you say, I'm singing this song called All Night. Give me the story of that.
I saw Professor Ken Fillmore in Montreal, because I'd always admired Professor Span playing. And I went to him, and because the year before, I think he had done some tune with Designer. And I said to him, Professor, I want to do the next song. I want to do the next song for you. So he said, you're serious? I said, yes, I want to do the next song for you. You know, we hit it off right there. And he came back to Trinidad and found me and took me in the studio to record All Night. And that, you could say, was the beginning.
Carnival time is the best place you could be, just like red wine. Look, I go in T&T. Them woman, they irie with the sexy shorts and tight jeans, making sure I'm happy with the total carnival scene. I wanna rock it in town, I wanna jam it in south. I wanna rock it in town, I wanna jam it in south. Carnival 93, oh yeah, yeah. I wanna rock it and jam it and whine it and shake it in the party.
All Night didn't do as well as I wanted it to do, and still I was virtually unknown.
Correct.
You know, because within that span from 1989 to 1995, nobody still knew Nigel and Marvin. They just knew that.
Just for the record, that was 1993.
Yeah, well, coming down all that time then, nobody still knew who was Nigel and Marvin, because all they could associate us was that we used to sing with this band and we could perform well. And that was what people knew about it.
We were nameless.
But we nameless.
Nameless.
So I was the fellow with the braids.
Yeah.
The song Same Thing Again.
Same thing again.
Tell me about that one now.
Was you that
Oh, same thing,
Same
yeah.
thing,
Well, this is when we were in Roy Cape, you know, and we learned a lot. I mean, we had to really give thanks to Roy.
Yeah, it was the
You know what I mean?
years of our lives.
Yeah, Roy, I mean, the art form, because I mean, we used to sing in bands before, but coming into Roy Cape, we were closer in contact with a lot of the older Calypsonians and stuff, so we learned a lot of history about the art form and grew to really love it more than we had even loved it before in the beginning, you know. And Sly, used to hang out with Sly sometimes on the People's Mall, Frederick Street. We used to hang out by, I can't remember the guy name right now, but he's so close and thing. And he used to say, well, you know, they had this song, him and the next guy, I can't remember, the name just not coming to me right now, but anyway, they said they had this song and thing called Same Thing, because, you know, everybody's singing the same thing. Almost like how when John King sing Jump and Wave.
Right.
You know, jump, right. So they say, you know, everybody's singing the same thing, same thing.
Same thing, misbehave. Same thing, wine and jam. Same thing, shout the hand. Same thing, all the bands when
jump. It's the same, 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 same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump, 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 jump. Same thing, man, I tell you. Same thing. Come on, let me jump, 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 jump. Same thing, everybody. Same thing, in the party. Same thing, same thing. Where's the same thing? So everybody has to jump when we come to 4. All right? I want to see the hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Come on, put your hands in the air. Right there, put your hands in the air. Yeah, man. Calypsonians in the thing too. To see who could jump more than who. Singing in dance and in all the parties. This jumpy, jumpy melody. In the east, same thing. In the west, same thing. Up north, same thing. Down south, same thing. Yeah, man. Even those who are singing slow, all of a sudden raise the tempo. It's the same, 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 same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump, 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 jump. Same thing, man, I tell you.
1995, the first ever party vocalist coming. Talk about that experience.
Oh, that was, we had to say that was the starting. That was the beginning.
That was really
Yeah.
That was really the starting of us, because then in joining Roy Cape, we had more leverage to experiment with the music, where me and Marvin would sit down and make the session and mix this song with that song and put the whole thing together. We were actually the ones that started having the other bands doing mix of song going into other song, because normally when you end a song, they used to have a rhythm and then the other song would come in there talk. We cut that out. Me and Marvin used to go from straight. So you used to go bang, da, 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 and and
I
go-
guess the older bands long ago, because I really don't know, like in the days of Charlie's Roots and Fireflight and stuff, right? They probably used to do it, but I can't remember, right? But, you know, we used to say, well, you know, this thing is a party. You know, do like the DJs, you know, the DJs just mix songs into songs.
96 in any case was such a big year for you that I think anything that you were associated with was going to come out. I mean, if you could recount some of your victories in 96 and some of your achievements.
Well, in 96, having to tell you the truth, when I did Move In, I didn't have any backing for the song. The only person that kind of believed in me with the song was Will Crosby from Crossville Music Center, because I was advised not to do the song because I would get in trouble and I was this and nobody ain't gonna listen to the song. And I said, look, you see me? I doing this song because I fed up people just knowing Nigel and Marvin could be on stage and perform.
Right.
And you could say, when you say Ronnie McIntosh, you could say happy. As long as I get it at happy, you could call songs. When you say
Repertoire.
when you call Nigel and Marvin, Roy Keep on the All Stars, Fireflight. That's all you could say. You can't really say, yeah, Moving to the Left. But from the time I do Moving to the Left and it came out December 1995, on the 26th of December 1995, that was the beginning of the end.
1, 2, 1, 2, everybody, move it to the left, hey, move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, move it to the, everybody, move it to the left, hey, move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, let me now, move it to the left is the name of the song, move back to the right and you never go wrong. We right that way, to the left, everybody, move it to the left, hey, move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, move it to the, everybody, move it to the left, hey, move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, move it to, hear me now, party time again, when I saw the arena, only gonna move to the left, everybody move to the left, we must all unite, stop the fuss and fight, only gonna move to the right, everybody move to the right. It's time for action and celebration. Just jump around and party, enjoy yourself, it's merry. Monday and Tuesday, free to break away. Move it to the left, move it to the right, and four, 1, 2, 3, hey! Move it to the left, hey! Move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, move it to the, everybody, move it to the left, hey! Move it to the, everybody, move it to the right, boy, down south, down south, down south. Up north. Put your hand in the air. Come on. Put your hand in the air. Come on. Put your hand in the air. Come on. Oh gosh.
Pua, a lot of people launched off from Pua because I like history. I love a lot of historical stuff, so I always digged up in history.
Well, it turned out to be a fantastic double. What prompted you, though, to compose Pua?
Pua, going to Haiti with Gypsy on the plane, we were going to Haiti. That was an experience. We were on the plane, and on the plane, we were doing some extempo, because Gypsy always wanted me to he said, Nigel, come in the extempo to him, because I could do a little extempo. He said, come on, man, you can give me a little competition. And I said, nah. And he start. And while he start now, he going with this Pua, and the crowd on the plane going Pua, because the plane shaking up too bad. And we're trying to get, ease the tension on the flight and stuff, because one of them big army planes, we were going to Haiti. And, and I went to him and I said, Gypsy, that Pua scenario, where that come from? And he said, well, that's what they used to say long time when they didn't have, And then I went to Roy. And then Roy said, I had written the lyrics already, but when I wrote the lyrics, I wrote the modern version history from 1960-something come up the road.
Right.
And Roy said, no.
Start earlier than
You gotta start earlier than that. He said, what you should do is go by Junior Telfer and check Norman that way. And I went to Junior Telfer. Junior Telfer gave me some ideas of what was going down back in the days of Ron Berridge and blah, 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 and down in the back. And then I went by Norman Daway. And when I reached by Norman Daway, this man started to give me history. And I was like, but this man is a walking encyclopedia. And we sat down in Crosby Music Center, and I started, but he just gave me all the information, and I just started putting all the lyrics together. And I tell Earl, I need to go back to Toronto, because I'd come from Toronto, eh? Yeah. And I tell Earl, I need to go back to Toronto to finish the track. And Earl gave me a ticket, and I went back to Toronto, finished the song, and came back home.
Come back again. Old time something come back again. Let me go back to the old time days when the music was sweeter in many ways. Let me go back to the old time days when the music was sweeter in many ways. Look, we go for our old time melody and bring it back and make everyone happy. Music was so sweet from so long ago, and this is how the old time melody goes. Of a true Calypsonian, we had lion, tiger, artillery hunt. Yes, the good old days of Calypsonians was spoiler, invader, executor. We had brass bands like Fitz Von Bryan, Roy Warlock, and John Bonnie Williams. In them days, it had no singers in band. It was a serious rhythm and horn section. Once again.
What part did you play in all of that?
Me? I was Nigel's boy. We're doing. I was like, we're doing what? Hey, everything. I mean.
Now, what was the greatest moment for you in performing that tune?
Move it to the left?
Yeah.
Which one do you think, boy? Soca Monarch or PSA?
I don't know, boy. That song
was so dangerous.
All these people, that's space in the party full.
Soca Monarch was a big turning event. PSA was, I think, was one of the greatest moments for me and Marvin with moving to the left.
1, 2, 3, 4. Moving to the left, moving to the right, moving to the right, moving to the right, moving to the left, moving to the left, moving to the right, moving to the right. All you tired now? All you tired now? Yes! Alright, here's what we're going to do now. Music. When I come to 4, we move into the left, to the right, down south, and up north. And when I say central, central means to jump and wave. Alright? When I say central, central is to jump and wave. There we go. And I want to see everybody move into the left. Everybody, on four, on four. Let me go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move it to the left, hey, move it to the left, everybody. Move it to the right, move it to the left, everybody. Move it to the left, move it to the left, everybody. Move it to the right, move it to the right. Down south, down south, down south, down south, down south, down south, down south. Up north, up north, up north, up north, up north, up north, up north. Central, jump and wave up, everybody jump and wave up, everybody jump and wave, everybody jump and wave, everybody